This year marks the 20th anniversary of my graduation from Loyola, a fact which evokes both pride and panic in equal measure. And so I thought I would take a few moments to travel back in time to 1992 for a brief glimpse at what Loyola was like when I walked these halls. Well, to begin with, I never actually walked these halls because we were the last graduating class from the old building across Sherbrooke Street. The new school, to my eyes, is a marvel of modern engineering and efficiency compared to the old. You have these amazing machines known as computers, and better still, you know how to use them. Truly miraculous. The old building had a great deal of character, however, especially the music room. Strategically perched atop the highest tower, where the mind-numbing shriek of the recorder could be somewhat contained to higher altitudes so as not to disrupt the learning below. Miss Hawhey, the long-standing music teacher, spoke with a thick Scottish brogue and could scare the fear of God even into the hardest of young men. I cried twice in her class. Although she became a real musical mentor, and as the young gentleman mentioned, we did perform Mendelssohn for Mr. Bednarchik's roof-raising production of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. Like you, we spent much of our free time praising the genius who created the Three Sisters school system. Now a father of 3 kids, 2 of whom are girls, and I would love to send them to either Sacred Heart, Villa Maria, or Queen of Angels, I have since reconsidered the wisdom of that system. But for all that it was lacking in creature comforts, Loyola made up for it with students and teachers from whom to learn and draw inspiration. We played sports with a testosterone-driven zeal to cripple one's opponents found only in teenage boys. And there were also musicians, actors, and artists in every grade. And this, perhaps, more than anything, changed my life. Father Brennan's office was the meeting place, an impromptu jam session room. My friends and I would spend our lunch hours trading riffs and learning new chords from some of the older guys. And bands sprung up in every grade and of every stripe and style, each one manipulating the dress code to suit their rock and roll fashion needs. I auditioned for my first band. Actually, we were called the Happy Death Men, the cheerfully named Happy Death Men. I auditioned over the telephone, singing Fools Rush In by Elvis Presley. Our look was a hybrid of mod and goth with a dash of punks mixed in, and we required tapered dress pants, combat shoes, and skinny ties, and a steady parade of dress code violations was to follow. We as a band thought we were pretty great. Unfortunately, nobody else did. The ultimate prize was a slot in the yearly talent show, a chance to play on the big stage, under the lights, maybe catching the eye of that villa girl you had a crush on. Auditions were held in the cafeteria, one's dreams coming true or being crushed in the warm glow of the vending machines. The Happy Death Men never made the cut, and it was a devastating blow. Strangely enough, that year I won a gold medal at the science fair for attaching a vacuum cleaner to a cardboard box and trying to pass it off as a black hole. It turned out I was the only entry in the space category that year, and so I won by default. It was a hollow victory and did very little to heal my wounded pride at the band's lack of success. And to this day, that rejection from the talent show, see how I get fired up when I'm speaking about this? It serves to fuel my musical ambition, and whenever I feel myself wavering, I am reminded of how unlikely a present I am living. But high school successes and failures do not prognosticate one's future. Again, the future is unwritten. In secondary 4, I ran for school president with my friend Adam Paperny. It was a bitter campaign, low blows and slander at every turn. Unfortunately, we were pitted against 2 of our best friends, Matt Garino and Dave Pazzi. Our campaign posters employed the lowest form of politicking known to man. For example, a photograph of a Lamborghini with Sam and Adam written underneath it. Next to it, a photo of a tricycle with Dave and Matt. The slogan reading, The choice is clear, vote Robertson for Perny. Now the year was 1991, and the first Gulf War was at hand, and the world was finding out about Saddam Hussein and his ambitions. Our rivals took full advantage of this by combining Sam and Adam into Saddam. Yes, this is true. With the slogan reading, "Need I say more? Vote Pazzi and Garino." Yes, democracy was alive and well at Loyola. We won a narrow victory, put the ugliness of the campaign behind us, and fueled by our newfound political influence, managed to get the band into that year's post-walkathon talent show. For all of us in the class of 1992, our time at Loyola galvanized that part of one spirit which tells you never to settle for a life which is devoid of passion or of courage in the face of difficult choices, but rather to strive with every breath to narrow the gap between how you are living and how you want to live. And now, with these diplomas almost in hand, you can turn your gaze to the next chapter and the story it might tell. At Loyola, you have stood on solid ground, but from this point forward, it will begin to shift and slide beneath your feet. Slowly at first. CEGEP is a way station between the two worlds. By that, I mean your parents may still bail you out of trouble for a while yet, but it picks up fast after that, and by the time you reach university, the words consequences and expectation will be ringing in your ears. Your education, at times, will feel like an obstacle course through a maze of potential disaster, underachievement, and disappointment. You will sometimes feel like a hamster on a wheel going through the motions, and yet, you will also feel, perhaps for the first time in your life, the dawning of a sense of purpose, the taking shape of what you want your life to look like. Sometimes all of these things in the same afternoon. Life is a perplexing mistress, to say the least. Making the grade is not enough, not if you want to be happy. An education is not an end in itself. It is a part of a greater, more complex whole, the living, breathing organism that is your life. Your decisions and choices will open and close doors for you. Some doors are heavy, made of a kind of dense cosmic oak. Extremely difficult to open, but well worth the effort and dedication to the task. Behind those doors lie some of life's more elusive goals. A career that you truly love and which fulfills a vital part of your spirit. A happy and loving family, meaningful friendships. And for all of you gluttons for punishment, a career in rock and roll. Some doors will close on you, though you pull with all your might. Others, because you didn't pull hard enough. And there are other doors, and you can only find this out for yourself, that are better left closed. The greatest threat to your future happiness, to the future of the world we live in, is apathy, indifference. And it is your charge, as you leave Loyola, to stay engaged in the act of living. Respect it for the gift that it truly is. The central and most important lesson you have learned here is to be a man for others. Watch the evening news for 5 minutes, and you'll realize what a sadly scarce man that is. You have learned it, and now it is time to live it, to take that message out into the wide world and help forge a new, better, and more peaceful one. To be a man for others is not simply a catchphrase. It is an idea fundamental to the very survival and prosperity of humanity. Every generation has the chance to remake the world in its own image. Respecting the past, perhaps, but also being bold and courageous enough to steer it towards the tomorrow that you believe is right. What will your world look like? On our very streets, right here in Montreal, students are now changing the face of our city. What will you do when it's your turn? What will you make of your opportunity to define the times that you live in? What you have learned over the past 5 years will inform and shape the role you play, but it's not enough. You can't sail off into the sunset just yet. There's too much work yet to be done. And so, graduates of Loyola High School, go out into the world, a world that can be brutal and beautiful all at once. Try to live with grace, to live with hope, and to live with compassion for others. And if you do only one thing, Remember that your future is unwritten. Thank you.